Alright, video. Sorry, I might choke during this video. I just pulled down a 60-year-old ceiling. Ooh, horrible up there. Anyway, probably got some sort of spotchy botcha mold disease or something. But anyway, subject. Yeah, it's this knowledge-based thing again. So the last two videos I posted were pretty, just devastating. They're just too damn good. The Professor Anton one and the Hero one. Damn good videos if you really listen to them. It really does just spell it out. So anyway, some guys arguing still. Oh, we can't explain something well enough. Like there's some mystery information out there we haven't discovered yet that will demonstrate that this biological experiment of consumption and reproduction is on some sort of, again, higher purpose. That it's doing more than just consuming and reproducing for the sake of consuming and reproducing, because that's what the first cell did. It went, oops, I reproduced. And the next cell said, oops, I reproduced. No intention, no design, no purpose, no potential accomplishment whatsoever. Anyway, they just don't like this truth, and that's the bottom line. But, you have to deal with this argument. Like, well, human beings have been wrong in the past, and so they must not have gotten it. We got some mystery out there because we're going to be wrong again. It's just bullshit. Like I said, there's lots of things we've gotten right. We figured out some things as completely as you need to figure them out. Tic-tac-toe is not going to get more interesting 500 years from now. It's done. It's cooked. It's finished. It is what it is. Checkers is checkers. You can't make it something else. It's got so many possibilities and probabilities, and that's all it's got. It's got whatever potential, and that's all it's got. And just us, we're just another thing in this world, in this universe, and we have a limited potential. And the game is basically be born into the world needing, satisfy the need, period. It's not that. There's nothing else. And the need is completely contrived based on environmental circumstances. I did think that I did use a phrase in the other video, and I thought, oh, I don't know why Darwin didn't do that. I called it competitive selection. Yeah, competitive, not natural selection, competitive selection. And we evolved through competitive selection. There was a competition, whoever won, that was selected. I think that's a better term because it gets that word competition in there. I mean, of course, Darwin said that explicitly. That's what natural selection was. But I think it's important to have the word in people's faces. Because that's all this is. It's a DNA molecule that changes with each redundancy. It changes a little bit. And those changed copies compete with each other to make more copies. Period. That's the game. That's the look. There's little black pieces and little red pieces and a checkerboard with black and red squares. Yeah, we've described the game. It's a DNA molecule competing with itself, variations of itself. Period. That's the game. You can't make anything out of that. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. It's just the way it is. So you're here with a big, complicated, emotional, and mental, central processor. And unfortunately, you haven't got a very good game to play. It's a shitty, stupid, idiotic game. It's beneath our intelligence to play it. That's just the truth. And you can wait 500 years, you can wait 10,000 years, you can wait 1,000,000 years, you can wait 1,000,000 years. And it's not going to be any different. That truth is the fucking truth. And you're stuck with it. There's no subjective magic, there's no magic forces, you're not reading anyone's mind, you're not seeing the past. All your little delusions of, some grander force out there, some mystery of our subjective experience. There's a dog loose in the woods. Don't care for that. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. So get with reality, accept the futility of your circumstance, and do what's best. How you doing? Yeah, your dog's back there somewhere. It's all right. Yeah, so, you know, the program, we got it. We know what the program is. We know what the system is. We know what the game is. The pretense is over. It's over. Yeah, what else can I say about it? You're fucked. You can say that 500 or 600 times. Yeah. Futile, dumb, stupid, idiotic, moronic. Alright, I'm a little distracted. That's not much of a thing to say. Oh, I do that often though. Switching hands, sorry. Yeah, a little tired. Okay. So where do we go from there? You know, how do I explain? I mean, this is the whole thing though, is that we have to have all these conversations. I sort of said that in the professor. I said a lot of good things. Actually, I did point out, you know, the education thing too, just about the fact that we didn't have a teacher. I've said it before, exactly on the same path, I think exactly in the same spot. We were never taught the truth. We had to learn it the hard way. But we did it. We accomplished the task. We figured out what the game is. And no point in pretending ignorance so you can keep believing in the three pigs. The jig is up. There's no happily ever after. There's no singularity. There's no boldly going anywhere. It's over. Let's, you know, eat some potato chips and fuck around and, you know, sing the swan song in a graceful, dignified way. Admit we're fucked. Let it go. There was some other point I wanted to get to, and now I forgot that because I brought up this other point. Damn it. It's always like that. Oh, it's the conflict thing, yeah. I mean, we really have to resolve this shit. You can't just keep talking, you know, all these 4 billion varieties of the truth, 7 billion varieties of the truth. Living for all kinds of wacky bullshit notions. You know, I'm going to perpetuate my family name. That's my accomplishment. I'm going to work like a slave in a foreign country and send all the money home so my family can live well and stomp on the peasants like I used to be. That doesn't work. You know, I'm going to be a sports hero. Yeah, good luck with that. You know, yeah. The game is honoring the truth. That's what you got to do. Is do your best in this game. Play the game based on what you got here, the values you know. And the values we know is that it's bad for sensitive creatures to be in pain, and we should do whatever we can to stop that. And the easiest way to stop it is never to create the vulnerable beastie in the first place. It's pretty logical. There's no cause or desperate need to create the beastie. It's not a horrible, awful burden. Especially now, we have all this technology. You can have virtual children. You can make some on the internet. You really can. You can buy a little beepy, little Japanese techno child you can take care of and test yourself out and see how big a failure as a parent you'd be. Get a plant. There's lots of non-sentient biology that you could care for and have a relationship with and talk to. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's not quite the same thing, you know, but you can pretend. You can fill in the missing bits. We're not that much more fun than plants. We're a lot more annoying. I mean, a plant's not gonna, you know, shit on your lap or something. But anyway, yeah. So, but you know, it's got to be argued through. And these people can't keep just relying on pseudoscience and made-up mumbo jumbo. Oh, quantum will reveal God's fingerprint. No, it won't. What else do they rely on? Yeah, it was all that voodoo and mumbo jumbo. I mean, I think some of these people are just afraid to say what they actually believe in. So I think it, you know, has hobgoblins in it or something. Some other little mystical boppers, little spiritual mumbos flying around here, jumboing about. I don't think so. But how do you prove it, Yeah, that does bring up another subject I did want to get to, so maybe I'll just throw it in here since I'm a little bit at a stall. Just about truther kind of bullshit. Somebody gave me a link to some truther video, and they were ragging about Building 7 again. And god damn it, all you have to do is watch the full-length real video of that building falling down, and you can see what happened. The whole inside of the building collapsed before the outside of the building. The entire inside of the building was pretty much on the floor before the outside of the building started falling. You can see the air whooshing out the windows, as the floors smashed on each other as the core of the building fell. Creates tremendous air pressure, and it just blew dust and air and bullshit out of the windows, and you can see it in the video. So clearly you can't measure how long it took the building to fall without counting before the building even looks like it's falling. You can see the roof, you can see where the air conditioners and the water tanks are, the heaviest part of the building on the roof, collapse long before the building starts to collapse. Seconds, a couple anyway. So yeah, that's why the building free-falled, is because the building had already fallen. The facade came down after the core fell, and it was nothing. There was nothing left but the outside walls, and they just fell straight down. They just crumbled, because there wasn't much left. I mean, there was probably a little bit of floor left, but very little, because the core was gone. And the core probably collapsed because the foundation was probably completely annihilated when the towers fell. They probably they probably expanded all the interior spaces below those buildings. The subway tunnels, all the rest of that stuff probably had, I don't know, thousands of pounds of air pressure in them. And they just probably expanded all the steel and cement structure, cracked it into little tiny pieces, and made it completely vulnerable to a collapse. So there's no mystery, no explosion sounds, no smoke, no dust, no nothing indicating explosions. It's just all, made up because they want a better story. I'm surprised there aren't a whole bunch of conspiracy theories about the Titanic. There probably are. There's probably people who have all kinds of, bullshit that didn't hit an iceberg, that it sank because somebody deliberately left their door open or some other kind of bullshit. Because people just can't deal with the truth. They always got to make it more interesting. They got to put everything in, suits of armor, and they gotta trim and cut and pull out the stuff they don't like and plant stuff they do like. They manicure it like it's a garden, and you're not allowed to do that to the truth. It's just bullshit. It's cheating. Big, giant, cruddy, crappy cheat. So stop it, fuckers. Anything else? I didn't mean to I don't really want to get into the whole truth of the thing because you're lunatics. You ought to all just stick your head in the toilet and flush it. Your stupid conspiracies. It's just so fucking huge waste of time. Gigantic. But they're just doing, this is the nature. Professor Anton says we have religiosity as part of our genetics or some kind of bullshit like that. And no, that's not the truth. Deniosity. Liosity, cheat-osity. That's our nature. Our nature is to cheat, to gain advantage, to make it edible, to find excuses, to find justification, justificationation. That's the goddamn tendency, and that's all these people are doing. choose religion because it's a more solid truth. They choose it because it's a more friendly description of a reality they'd rather live in. That's all it is. Mostly it's a social club now, but that's a whole different thing. I mean, if there were no old religions, we'd see what they do. They'll just make up new truther religions. Scientology or some other kind of crap. Empowerment religions. You have control over yourself. You are king as long as you believe you're king. You can fly as long as you believe you can fly. Yeah, of course they like to hear that. That's fun. You mean I really am Superman and I have superpowers? Oh, good. I want to believe that. Oh, you mean I really have lived 1,000,000 times and I really was king and I really was super cool and I'm just spending this little bad period on Earth now, as a dumb, ignorant peasant, because of some dumb reason. I mean, but yeah, everybody, all these people that go revert to the past, how funny it is that none of them are ever janitors. None of them were ever somebody uninteresting. I was just a boring guy who cemented bricks together. No, never. There were always somebody special. Because everybody has to think they're special. Fail. Sorry, that's not the truth. You didn't win the big game. You weren't in the big game. You're pretty much just a toad. Anyway, I guess that's enough. So, till next time and such. It'll be a long day. Yuck.